Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Jada, and today I'm going to be telling you guys why I dropped out of college. Now it's currently April, and I feel like this would be the best time to tell my story about why I dropped out of college, because I know a lot of people are getting ready to head to college in a few months, and a lot of people are also graduating. So I just did this for entertainment, for knowledge, you know, just a little bit of everything. So before I decided to officially drop out and never go back, I attended 3 different colleges. Yes, 3 different colleges. I'm gonna put a picture right here of all my student IDs. Every year I was a different girl. Every year I had a different life, different experiences with every single college I went to. So I'm gonna go through each one of the 3 colleges I went to, and I'm gonna go in order 1 through 3, and then I'm gonna tell y'all at the end why I decided, you know, just to never go back again. I'm not trying it again. I'm not trying new school. I'm not trying anything. Like, I'm just gonna quit and not go back. So I graduated high school in 2019, which was like 4 years ago. So I was supposed to graduate this year. I was supposed to graduate college this year. So everybody that went to high school with me is getting ready to graduate. They're taking their grad pictures, looking all cute. They're about to start their career, live their life. And I'm like, dang, I don't have no plan. Everybody about to flourish. I don't have no plan. I left school a million times. I'm just lost right now. So let's get started on why I ultimately left college. So the first college I ever went to was Columbus State University. So first things first, before I even went to college, I had a huge falling out with a lot of people in my life. Like, I lost 3 of my best friends. I had 4 best friends at the time, 4 childhood best friends, and I lost 3 of them. They didn't die, they just cut me off. So I lost 3 best friends, and I also broke up with my boyfriend all at the same time. And at the time, y'all, I'm like, I'm finna start a new life. I'm finna go to college for the first time. You know what? Whatever. If y'all want to be with me, forget them. Like, I'm finna meet all new people. So went to Columbus State University, and by the way, I'm from Atlanta. And I decided to go to Columbus State University because my brother had went to Columbus State University, and my brother's baby mama went also. And when they went, they really had a good time. But mind you, my brother is 7 years older than me. So you can imagine that a college from 7 years ago is not about to be the same college 7 years later. By the time, I'm thinking, hey, it's gonna be the same thing. So I also wanted to go to Columbus, because I wanted to go to a school where I knew nobody was gonna go, and that was definitely Columbus. I didn't know a single soul that was going there. It was gonna be me by myself, a fresh new life. And really at that time, I thought that was just the best decision ever. So like I said, my brother went to that school. So when my brother went to the school 7 years ago, freshman dorms looked like apartments. So you had your own bathroom, you had your own bedroom. Then it was like really big. It was honestly bigger than the apartment I'm in right now. It was huge, and it literally just looked like apartment living. So I'm thinking, I'm finna live there. I'm finna, you know, no. For some reason, Columbus State made all the freshmen stay in these new freshman dorms where everybody was, you know, the traditional dorms where you're sleeping in the same room with somebody else. 2 twin beds in 1 little tiny room. I stayed with 4 girls, so it was 2 on one side and then 2 on the other side, and then it was bathroom here, then a sink right there. So already with the dorm situation, I already should have switched colleges right there. But I'm like, you know what? I'll figure it out. I'm gonna live the dorm life just like everybody else, and maybe living like this will be, you know, good for me. So first things first, I'm gonna go back. So first things first, orientation. So I don't know if it's still mandatory to go to orientation, how it was mandatory to go to orientation before COVID. But when I went to college for the first time in 2019, it was mandatory to go to orientation. And my mom tricked me and said that Columbus made you spend the night at orientation. At the time, I just believed my mom. Like, I was so mad. I didn't want to stay the night, but she's like, you have to. It's a part of orientation. So my mom dropped me off at the orientation. She said, see ya, girl. And she went off. So I'm here at this orientation, didn't know nobody. But at the time, again, I'm like, you know what? I'm finna just make friends. I'm finna I had the best time of my life. So I went and ended up sitting by somebody random, ended up having a good time at the orientation actually, and I met this girl who ended up being my roommate because we met each other and we just thought we was gonna be the best of friends. So we're like, oh, we gotta switch, we gotta be roomies. So we switched roommates. We ended up talking to somebody and they ended up switching rooms and we ended up becoming roommates. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, I guess spending the night at the orientation did kind of work. So then fast forward, finally the day that I attend actual college, right? So everything is smooth at first. I go to the caf. Mind you, the caf food was not good. It was never good. Like, it wasn't nasty, but it just tasted really bland. My belly was never full. When I ate there, I was never satisfied. It was just like, just eating because I had nothing else to eat. So yeah, everything was cool at first. We would go to the caf, we'll walk around, everything was cool at first. But what I noticed was it was never anybody on campus. When we was walking and doing all type of stuff, I would never see anybody. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just came early. Maybe I just came early. Maybe when classes start, more people are gonna come. And my family was saying that also, like, when people come, it's gonna be more people, right? So then classes finally start. I go to my classes, walking around again, and it's like a small population that's going to school there. Like, the campus is teeny tiny, the people who go there teeny tiny. I'm just like, where am I at? But again, I didn't want to speak too soon, so I'm like, let's just see. Y'all, to speed things along, throughout my classes and throughout walking around, I never found friends. Well, let me not say never. I did end up being with this like group kind of. Because in college you always have a group. So I ended up being with this group of people. I don't even really have much to comment on it. Like, I was just so miserable there. I didn't really meet anybody. The only people I did meet was the group of people that I hung out with, and then these two other girls. Other than that, it was usually a ghost town at Columbus. It was barely anybody there. And if it was people there, like, obviously it was some people, but the people that were there were not like me at all. They were not like me. I don't know the best way to explain it, but it was just like, it wasn't my type of college at all. When I went to the parties weren't ever it. They were always so boring. They would play music that I didn't even know. And like I said, I'm from Atlanta. They would play this song by Finesse 2 Times. I don't remember what it's called. I should know what it's called because I used to play it at every party. It was like Columbus Dreams and Nightmares. Like, if you can imagine when Dreams and Nightmares comes on and everybody's just shouting da 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 da. It was like that, but it was by Finesse 2 Times. And me and my roommate that I always hang out with, we were both from Atlanta, and we're like, girl, do you know what this is? And she's like, no, we never knew what the song was. Well, I know what the song is now, and I know it because I learned it. I'm like, I'm gonna learn the song. But at the time, I didn't know. So they would just like do stuff like that. Like, it was just really not for me. So like I said, I didn't make any friends, right? And then, like I said, I had just ended it with my boyfriend, like a terrible breakup, and 3 of my childhood friends cut me off. So this was like literally the loneliest time in my life. So I went from being so excited to go off to college and be a whole new girl to somebody who was completely lonely, had no friends, so lonely. What made me survive through Columbus was my best friend. Out of the, like I said, I had 4 best friends, 3 of them cut me off. I had 1 left. The one best friend, y'all, she would talk to me day in and day out. On the way to class, we would be on the phone. On the way home from class, we'd be on the phone. At the cafe, we would be on the phone. Because, like, I literally was so lonely and so miserable. And being lonely is honestly the worst feeling in the world. being in a place where you don't know anybody, you don't enjoy the scenery, you just don't enjoy anything, is probably the worst feeling in the world. So my best friend really helped me survive through that. Without her, I don't know what would happen. I used to stay in the bed. Like, this is after I tried to make friends and I tried to go to parties, didn't have a good time. This is after all this. So after all that, I would stay in the bed the whole time. I was so miserable. My family would call me and like, Jada, get out the bed, go do something. Jada, go have fun. Like, you're not gonna have fun and stay in bed. And I could tell they were like genuinely worried about me, because every time they would call me, they're like, you have to get out the bed. You have to. But I'm like, y'all, I don't have anywhere to go. Because also, I didn't have a car my freshman year of college. And then I was in the city of Columbus, Georgia. So there wasn't anything to do, wasn't anywhere to walk to but the campus. And the campus was itty bitty. And there was nothing on campus anyway. So I was just miserable. And then on top of that, like I said, I was staying in a dorm where you're sharing a room with somebody and you're in 2 twin beds. Like, I can't really do much with this. I was just so miserable. I tell my mom, I used to like literally cry on the phone every day, like, Mom, I have to get out of here. But Mom's like, you just gotta make it through, because, you know, obviously, well, you can leave in the middle semester, but you're really not supposed to. And, you know, you spend all that money, you don't want to just leave in the middle of the semester. So my mom's like, just make it to the end of the semester, then you could come home. Y'all, that was the worst year of my life. I can't even explain how bad I felt and how bad my mental health was at that time. It was the worst year of my life. At the end of November, I took my last final and I was like, Dad, please come get me. Please come get me. Yeah, my dad was at work. He's like, I'm gonna come and get you after work. I'm like, come get me now. Come get me now. Please come get me now. My dad literally had to leave work and come and get me from Columbus, because I was literally like, it's the end of the semester. I took my last final. Please, my bags was packed a long time ago. I was ready to go and to get up out of there. So yeah, he eventually came and got me. Well, not eventually. He really came really early. He left work for me and came and got me. And I went home, and that was the best feeling ever. Coming home, I'm like, I escaped. My hell is over. Like, I'm finally out of there. So I came back home in November, the end of November, and I stayed home for a semester. I didn't have a plan at the time. I didn't have a plan at the time, but I knew I was not going back to Columbus State for anything. So my roommate honestly ended up getting the good end of the deal, because my roommate went back and she had a whole dorm to herself. But so I went home for a semester and I was working a little bit, living my life. I used to watch Outer Banks and Victorious throughout the whole time being home from college. And at that time, like, I was really lost and really lonely again, because I didn't have any friends at home either. Lonely, I was lost, I was miserable, but I was way less miserable than I was at Columbus. So time went on, I just worked, and I still couldn't figure out what to do. But then my birthday came around. My birthday is August 21st, and August is the beginning of the semester. So my birthday came around, and like I said time and time again, I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anything to do. So I contacted my old boy best friend from back in high school, and I'm like, let me come down to Albany for my birthday, because he went to school at Albany State. I'm like, let me come down to Albany for my birthday. Let me come party it up, because, you know, Albany is a party school. So I'm like, I'm gonna come party it up, live my life, and then go back home. So he's like, yeah, come down to Albany for your birthday. Come have fun. So August 21st, I drove down there. Y'all, I had the time of my life. Literally, I had the time of my life. And I just had this awakening. I'm like, is this what I was missing out on all along? Is this what the college life is supposed to be like? Like, because Columbus was the complete opposite of Albany. And mind you, I was only there for like 2 days, and already I'm like, this is the college lifestyle that everybody is always talking about. This right here. Y'all, I had a blast. I was going to parties. I was drinking. I was acting wild. Not too wild though. I was just like having fun. I had the best time ever. So I went home and I said, I'm going to Albany State, y'all. I told my mom, I'm going to Albany State. Oh, I forgot to add, I did apply to Albany and I did get accepted, and I got accepted in July, but I didn't plan on going because I'm like, I don't think Albany is where I want to go. Like, I don't really know. I was really indecisive and last minute about everything. So I got accepted in July, but I didn't go. I didn't sign up for my classes. I didn't sign up for my dorm, nothing. I just didn't go. So then back to what I was saying. So I was there in Albany for my birthday, had a blast, got back home, and I told my mom, I'm going to Albany State. She like, you had that much fun? You want to go to college out there? I'm like, yeah, but I want to go now, like this semester, right now. The semester's already started, but I'm finna be there. And my mom, being the most wonderful human in the world, she's like, okay, we finna make it happen. So, like I said, it was end of August. So the dorms were already closed, classes were closed, everything was closed. So how I was about to get in there, I don't know. But I'm Miss Make It Happen, and my mom is Mrs. Make It Happen as well. So we started doing our research, like, what can we do, y'all? I'm calling the dorms thinking I'm special. I'm like, yeah, I just decided I want to go to Albany, so can y'all give me a dorm? Like, girl, where are they gonna get you a dorm? Where are they gonna find room for you? So when I would call up to the house and they're like, no, our dorms are full, but you can get on the wait list. I'm like, okay, well, how long is the wait list? 500 people. Girl, I need to go down right now. Y'all talk about the wait list has 500 people. Is that even legal to have 500 people not having a place to stay but going to school there? So I was out of luck, y'all. I told my mom, I'm like, the dorms are full, the classes are closed. I just can't make it this semester. And I was so distraught. I was actually really sad because I really had my mind made up to go to Albany. So I was really sad. And then my mom like researched it and she was able to get me in. So I took online classes. I had to go take e-core classes, which is online classes taught by people from different universities, like teachers from different universities. And she was like, I found an apartment complex that is Albany student apartment complex, and they were called The Scene. If you go to Albany, you know exactly what The Scene is. That was their first year opening when I was to Albany, I think in 2020. So yeah, they just opened some new apartment complexes and they still have some left. You could go and get it. So I'm like, boom. So I ended up going to Albany in September. But my e-core classes didn't start till October because it was first semester B class. I don't remember what it's called, like first semester B classes or something. If you're in college, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's October to start my classes, but I was down in Albany in September in my apartment. My mom was able to make it happen. She had to pay like 2 months rent. Yeah, I think she had to pay 2 months rent or something like that. And I packed up my stuff and I went to Albany. And also at the time, I had got a car at that point. When I came home from Columbus and I was working a little bit, well, my dad gave me his old car. I didn't get my old car. My dad gave me his car. So I was off to Albany. So then my experience at Albany, I had a ball. Albany is like a part of school. It was so fun. And then let me tell you the difference between Columbus and Albany as well. In Albany, I knew people there. I knew way more people in Albany than I knew in Columbus. And when you go to a school where you already know people, the people you know are going to introduce you to other people, which is what I missed out on in Columbus. Even though the people weren't, you know, what I wanted to hang out with anyway. But yeah, when I went to Albany, I had friends there already. So I'm like, I feel at home because I know these people are from back home. They act like how I was back home. Like in Columbus, I never even laughed. Like, no exaggeration, I didn't laugh one time in Columbus, and if I did laugh, it was like a fake little chuckle. So I'm usually like a huge big laugher. Like I'm hitting somebody, I'm running, I'm screaming on top of my lungs when I laugh. Y'all, not one time at Columbus did I laugh. It was like literally the most miserable thing. But see, I went to Albany, have a ball. It's a party school. I'm finally having the college experience that I've been looking for this whole time, like just having fun. And then second semester, I ended up going to in-person classes. So I switched from e-core to in-person classes second semester. And I was just having a ball. I had my own apartment. Well, I had roommates, but I had my own apartment. My apartment was like a little party house. People would come in and out. I would never lock my doors in Albany. People would literally just walk in, be sitting on the couch, walk in, knock on my bedroom door. It was literally like college, the epitome of college. It was Albany. But then I got homesick. Being in Albany, if you don't know what Albany, Georgia is, it's really country. It's really country. It's nothing to do there. Even with a car, it's still nothing to do there. It's nowhere to eat, nowhere to get frozen yogurt, nowhere to go to like a gym class. It's nothing out there. And I'm from, like I said, I'm from Atlanta, so Atlanta has a whole bunch of stuff. Anything you would think of, you can go and do it. In Albany, it wasn't like that at all. So I got homesick. And also, not only did I get homesick, but the friend that I went out there for on my birthday, he got shot. So he ended up going home. So my hometown friend went home, and then I had a little crew in Albany that I didn't know from back home, but they were just like my little crew, and we ended up beefing too. I feel like going to HBCU, you always get into a beef with somebody. And like me, I'm the most peaceful, chill person ever, and I still got into a beef. I feel like that's just HBCU stuff. So yeah, I got into a beef with my friend group, and my friend from back home got shot and went home. So at that point, I was over it. Oh, and on top of that, like I said, Albany was really country, and it just wasn't what I was used to. So I was having fun, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I want to come home. I want to be in the city. Like, I'm in love with the city. So I ended up leaving in April. So I finished the whole year at Albany. Then I left in April. I still had that apartment there, and my mom still had to pay the rent on the apartment till like July. But I was so ready to come home. I used to drive home every weekend. After I was tired of it, I used to drive home every weekend, almost every day. And I think Albany is like 3 hours away from Atlanta, so I would just push the pedal to the metal and go home. Literally, I would go home all the time. So then, yeah, like I said, in April, I finally just went home. Still had the apartment in Albany. All my stuff was in Albany because I literally left so early. Like I said, I left in April. I didn't even finish my exams. I did my exam at home. Like, I had a gym exam, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to make it back. So can I do the exam at home? He like, yeah, just run 2 miles and send me a screenshot of you running 2 miles. So he was like, yeah, just send me a screenshot of you running 2 miles and you're good. So I did that. I didn't go back. All my stuff is there. All my clothes, my shoes, my refrigerator, my TV, my mirror. Everything I owned was in Albany, and I was at home. And I didn't go and get my stuff probably till like July when my lease was about to end, so I had to go back and get that stuff. I literally just did not want to go back so bad. I just left all my stuff. I did not care one bit. I was wearing whatever I had. I honestly did not care. So I left Albany. Again, second school I left. Now we down to the last school, the third school. When I was at home, I decided, you know what? I took another semester off. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this college thing again. I'm gonna try it again. Like, let me try it again. So this time, I'm like, you know what? I learned from my mistakes. I learned from Albany. I learned from Columbus. And I know exactly what I want now. So I'm like, the perfect school to go to is Georgia State. Georgia State is in Atlanta. I'll be with my family. I'll be around the city. It'll be perfect, right? So I went to Georgia State again. I went late. I went in January, but I went late and they didn't have any dorms left per usual. Still had a thick wait list as well. So I ended up getting apartments. I ended up getting an apartment, off-campus apartment, you know. I ended up getting an off-campus apartment and going to school in the city. So at Georgia State, honestly, I went to Georgia State when I was 20 years old at this point. So I was kind of over the whole college thing. This is my third college. I was over it. I just wanted to be in the city at this point. So I was going to my classes. Yo, I was having a good old time. Like, I just honestly felt like an adult. I was going to my classes and I would go to Dunkin' Donuts after class and I would come home, go to sleep in my little apartment. Like, I honestly was just living an adult life, like an adult that lived in Atlanta that also takes classes on the side life. At this point, I didn't really participate in any college activities. I wasn't going to the racetrack. I wasn't going to the mix. I wasn't on that block, nothing like that. Like, at that point, I wasn't living a college lifestyle anymore. I was just living a grown-up life at that point. So, I honestly really like Georgia State. I honestly can't even say anything bad about it. I had a good time at Georgia State. But I had this math teacher, right? I had this math teacher. And if you're in college, you know, you always have a professor where you can't understand anything that they're saying. And math is one of the hardest subjects for me personally. So I need somebody that I can understand. My math teacher, I didn't understand a word he was saying. I was struggling so bad at math that I just gave up. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do this no more. So I didn't go to class no more, didn't do my homework, didn't do the exams, didn't do anything. I'm just like, I'm gonna just retake this class. So by me doing that, I lost my Hope Scholarship. So it's already starting to roll, So I lost my Hope Scholarship by doing that dumb stuff. So I'm like, okay, I lost my Hope Scholarship, but I can get it back because I was literally like right there. I was only like 0.1 point off. So I'm like, you know what? I can get this Hope Scholarship back easy. I just gotta do my work next semester. You know, that's it right there. You're like, next semester I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna do my work on time. I'm not gonna procrastinate. It's always like that, but it's never like that. So second semester come around, still living my little grown life, grown and happy life. And the second semester is even worse because at that point, like I said, I had my apartment, but this time my mom didn't pay for my apartment. So I was working as well. I was working and going to school at the same time. And I was just over it. I was so over it. I didn't want to do my work anymore. I was so discouraged. I didn't feel like doing my work. So I just didn't. So I literally just dropped out in the middle of the semester because I didn't want to do it. But instead of like, you know, actually dropping out, I just didn't do any of I didn't go to any of my classes, didn't do any of my work, just completely threw away the whole second semester of college. So now I can't even go back to college because I done threw all them classes out. So now my third and final college, I can't go back now. I don't know what I want to do. When you tell people like, yeah, I dropped out of college, their first thing they're like, well, what are you gonna do now? I don't know. If I knew, then I would be doing it right now. I don't know what I want to do, but I do send love and hopes to everybody in college or going to college, because some days I do wish I stayed. Some days I'm like, no, I don't. I honestly have always hated school. So I just don't enjoy doing work at all. I don't want to. So, but I do send so much hope to everybody. I would say, like, try to join extracurricular activity. I feel like if I did like an extracurricular activity, or if I started off at Albany or Georgia State from the jump instead of going to Columbus, I feel like maybe I would have, you know, finished the whole 4 years. But who knows? I do feel like going to Columbus and having the worst how long is that? 7 months, having the worst 7 months of my life, really altered my brain for the rest of the time, because I really loved Albany and Georgia State. Those were two really great colleges, two very different colleges as well, but I still love both of them. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have dropped out if I started from the jump, if I made friends my first year, if I was in a club doing an activity, because I feel like when you start your first year off bad, it kind of throws off the rest of your college experience maybe, you know. But who knows, what happened. And yeah, I dropped out in December, and it's April right now, so I dropped out 4 months ago. So this is a fresh college dropout story. So I know y'all probably thinking like, girl, when did you leave? I just left 4 months ago. I did 2.5 years. I know I could have finished. And also with Georgia State too, I ultimately got a job, right? I got a job at a company that I wanted to work for when I did graduate. So I was doing like an entry-level job. So when I did graduate, I would have my foot in the door. And when I was working that job, I thought to myself, this is not what I want to do at all. Staying at a career for your whole life, like staying at one career for your whole life, is just something that I cannot ever imagine myself doing. Literally, I get so bored so easily. I love to switch things up. I love to have fun. I love new experiences. I love doing new stuff. So going to college for, you know, one specific thing and doing one thing for the rest of your life just sounds so horrible to me. So that's also why I ended up leaving and not going back, because I just knew there's just not something that I could fall in love with that much where I want to do it for the rest of my life. For you, like, on to college, you're picking a career at 18 that you're still gonna be at when you're 60 years old. Like, think about that. That is absolutely crazy to me. And I do understand, like, not being in college, you don't have a secure lifestyle, you don't have anything set in stone, which I get. But I don't want anything set in stone if I'm still going to be doing that at 60 years old. No, thank you. So that's why I ultimately decided to leave Georgia State and just drop out and never go back. I would never go back to college, and I can't go back to college anyway because I messed up everything. But I hope you enjoyed my video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for listening to my college dropout story and my college experience story. I might do a video about college tips, because even though I did drop out, I still have tips for you guys on how not to drop out. Like, you have to take it from a dropout herself on what to do to not drop out. So I might do a video about college tips or something. I don't know. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my other videos. Until next time, bye guys. Stay in college, y'all.